سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الصلاة شيء، وارحم سيدنا محمدا وآل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الرحمة شيء، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من البركة شيء، وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا في المرسلين، وصل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم أعط سيدنا محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والشرف والدرجة الكبيرة. اللهم إني آمنت بسيدنا محمد ولم أره فلا تحرمني في الجنان رؤيته وارزقني صحبته، وتوفني على ملته واسقني من حوضه مشربا رويا سائغا هنيئا لا نظمأ بعده أبدا، إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم أبلغ روح سيدنا محمد مني تحية وسلاما. اللهم وكما آمنت بسيدنا محمد ولم أره فلا تحرمني في الجنان رؤيته. اللهم تقبل شفاعة سيدنا محمد الكبرى وارفع درجته العليا، وآته سؤله في الآخرة والأولى كما آتيت سيدنا إبراهيم وسيدنا موسى. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك، وسيدنا إبراهيم خليلك وصفيك، وسيدنا موسى كليمك ونجيك، وسيدنا عيسى روحك وكلمتك، وعلى جميع ملائكتك ورسلك وأنبيائك وخيرتك من خلقك وأصفيائك وخاصتك وأوليائك من أهل أرضك وسمائك. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد عدد خلقه ورضاء نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته وكما هو أهله، وكلما ذكره الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون، وعلى أهل بيته وعترته الطاهرين وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته وعلى جميع النبيين والمرسلين والملائكة والمقربين وجميع عباد الله الصالحين عدد ما أمطرت السماء منذ بنيتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما أنبتت الأرض منذ دحوتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد النجوم في السماء فإنك أحصيتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما تنفست الأرواح منذ خلقتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت وما تخلق وما أحاط به علمك وأضعاف ذلك. اللهم صل عليهم عدد خلقك ورضاء نفسك وزنة عرشك ومداد كلماتك ومبلغ علمك وآياتك. اللهم صل عليهم صلاة تفوق وتفضل صلاة المصلين عليهم من الخلق أجمعين كفضلك على جميع خلقك. اللهم صل عليهم صلاة دائمة مستمرة الدوام على مر الليالي والأيام متصلة الدوام لا انقضاء لها ولا انصرام على مر الليالي والأيام عدد كل وابل وطل. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد نبيك وسيدنا إبراهيم خليلك وعلى جميع أنبيائك وأصفيائك من أهل أرضك وسمائك عدد خلقك ورضاء نفسك وزنة عرشك ومداد كلماتك ومنتهى علمك وزنة جميع مخلوقاتك صلاة مكررة أبدا عدد ما أحصى علمك وملء ما أحصى علمك وأضعاف ما أحصى علمك صلاة تزيد وتفوق وتفضل صلاة المصلين عليهم من الخلق أجمعين كفضلك على جميع خلقك. اللهم اجعلني ممن لزم ملة نبيك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعظم حرمته وأعز كلمته وحفظ عهده وذمته ونصر حزبه ودعوته وكثر تابعيه وفرقته ووافى زمرته ولم يخالف سبيله وسنته. اللهم إني أسألك الاستمساك بسنته وأعوذ بك من الانحراف عما جاء به. اللهم إني أسألك من خير ما سألك منه سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم وأعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم اعصمني من شر الفتن وعافني من جميع المحن وأصلح مني ما ظهر وما بطن ونق قلبي من الحقد والحسد ولا تجعل علي تباعة لأحد. اللهم إني أسألك الأخذ بأحسن ما تعلم والترك لسيء ما تعلم وأسألك التكفل بالرزق والزهد في الكفاف والمخرج بالبيان من كل شبهة والفلج بالصواب في كل حجة والعدل في الغضب والرضاء والتسليم لما يجري به القضاء والاقتصاد في الفقر والغنى والتواضع في القول والفعل والصدق في الجد والهزل. اللهم إن لي ذنوبا فيما بيني وبينك وذنوبا فيما بيني وبين خلقك. اللهم ما كان لك منها فاغفره وما كان منها لخلقك فتحمله عني وأولني بفضلك إنك واسع المغفرة. اللهم نور بالعلم قلبي واستعمل بطاعتك بدني وخلص من الفتن سري واشغل بالاعتبار فكري وقني شر وساوس الشيطان وأجرني منه يا رحمن حتى لا يكون له علي سلطان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم وترحم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما ترحمت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم وتحنن على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحننت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما سلمت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وارحم سيدنا محمدا وآل سيدنا محمد وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت ورحمت وباركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وذريته وأهل بيته كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم داحي المدحوات وبارئ المسموكات وجبار القلوب على فطرتها شقيها وسعيدها، اجعل شرائف صلواتك ونوامي بركاتك ورأفة تحننك على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق والمعلن الحق بالحق والدامغ لجيشات الأباطيل، كما حمل فاضطلع بأمرك بطاعتك مستنفذا في مرضاتك واعيا لوحيك حافظا لعهدك ماضيا على نفاذ أمرك حتى أورى قبسا لقابس آلاء الله تصل بأهله أسبابه به هديت القلوب بعد خوضات الفتن والإثم وأبهج موضحات الأعلام ونائرات الأحكام ومنيرات الإسلام، فهو أمينك المأمون وخازن علمك المخزون وشهيدك يوم الدين وبعيثك نعمة ورسولك بالحق رحمة. اللهم افسح له في عدنك واجزه مضاعفات الخير من فضلك مهنآت له غير مكدرات من فوز ثوابك المحلول وجزيل عطائك المعلول. اللهم أعل على بناء الناس بناءه وأكرم مثواه لديك ونزله وأتمم له نوره واجزه من ابتعاثك له مقبول الشهادة ومرضي المقالة ذا منطق عدل وخطة فصل وبرهان عظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. لبيك اللهم ربي وسعديك صلوات الله البر الرحيم والملائكة المقربين والنبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين، وما سبح لك من شيء يا رب العالمين على سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين وإمام المتقين ورسول رب العالمين الشاهد البشير الداعي إليك بإذنك السراج المنير عليه السلام. اللهم اجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك على سيد المرسلين وإمام المتقين وخاتم النبيين سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك إمام الخير وقائد الخير ورسول الرحمة. اللهم ابعثه مقاما محمودا يغبطه فيه الأولون والآخرون. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأولاده وأزواجه وذريته وأهل بيته وأصهاره وأنصاره وأشياعه ومحبه وأمته وعلينا معهم أجمعين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من صلى عليه وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من لم يصل عليه وصل على سيدنا محمد كما أمرتنا بالصلاة عليه وصل عليه كما يحب أن يصلى عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما أمرتنا أن نصلي عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما هو أهله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحب وترضاه له. اللهم يا رب سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد صل على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد وأعط سيدنا محمدا الدرجة والوسيلة في الجنة. اللهم يا رب سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد اجز سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هو أهله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الصلاة شيء. وارحم سيدنا محمدا وآل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الرحمة شيء. وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من البركة شيء. وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من السلام شيء. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين. وصل على سيدنا محمد في النبيين وصل على سيدنا محمد في المرسلين. وصل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم أعط سيدنا محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والشرف والدرجة الكبيرة. اللهم إني آمنت بسيدنا محمد ولم أره فلا تحرمني في الجنان رؤيته وارزقني صحبته. وتوفني على ملته واسقني من حوضه مشربا رويا سائغا هنيئا لا نظمأ بعده أبدا إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم أبلغ روح سيدنا محمد مني تحية وسلاما. اللهم وكما آمنت بسيدنا محمد ولم أره فلا تحرمني في الجنان رؤيته. اللهم تقبل شفاعة سيدنا محمد الكبرى وارفع درجته العليا وآته سؤله في الآخرة والأولى كما آتيت سيدنا إبراهيم وسيدنا موسى. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم، وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك وسيدنا إبراهيم خليلك وصفيك وسيدنا موسى كليمك ونجيك وسيدنا عيسى روحك وكلمتك وعلى جميع ملائكتك ورسلك وأنبيائك وخيرتك من خلقك وأصفيائك وخاصتك وأوليائك من أهل أرضك وسمائك. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد عدد خلقه ورضاء نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته وكما هو أهله وكلما ذكره الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون وعلى أهل بيته وعترته الطاهرين وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته وعلى جميع النبيين والمرسلين والملائكة والمقربين وجميع عباد الله الصالحين عدد ما أمطرت السماء منذ بنيتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما أنبتت الأرض منذ دحوتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد النجوم في السماء فإنك أحصيتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما تنفست الأرواح منذ خلقتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت وما تخلق وما أحاط به علمك وأضعاف ذلك. اللهم صل عليهم عدد خلقك ورضاء نفسك وزنة عرشك ومداد كلماتك ومبلغ علمك وآياتك. اللهم صل عليهم صلاة تفوق وتفضل صلاة المصلين عليهم من الخلق أجمعين كفضلك على جميع خلقك. اللهم صل عليهم صلاة دائمة مستمرة الدوام على مر الليالي والأيام متصلة الدوام لا انقضاء لها ولا انصرام على مر الليالي والأيام عدد كل وابل وطل. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد نبيك وسيدنا إبراهيم خليلك وعلى جميع أنبيائك وأصفيائك من أهل أرضك وسمائك عدد خلقك ورضاء نفسك وزنة عرشك ومداد كلماتك ومنتهى علمك وزنة جميع مخلوقاتك صلاة مكررة أبدا عدد ما أحصى علمك وملء ما أحصى علمك وأضعاف ما أحصى علمك صلاة تزيد وتفوق وتفضل صلاة المصلين عليهم من الخلق أجمعين كفضلك على جميع خلقك. اللهم اجعلني ممن لزم ملة نبيك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعظم حرمته وأعز كلمته وحفظ عهده وذمته ونصر حزبه ودعوته وكثر تابعيه وفرقته ووافى زمرته ولم يخالف سبيله وسنته. اللهم إني أسألك الاستمساك بسنته وأعوذ بك من الانحراف عما جاء به. اللهم إني أسألك من خير ما سألك منه سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم، وأعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم اعصمني من شر الفتن وعافني من جميع المحن وأصلح مني ما ظهر وما بطن ونق قلبي من الحقد والحسد ولا تجعل علي تباعة لأحد. اللهم إني أسألك الأخذ بأحسن ما تعلم والترك لسيء ما تعلم، وأسألك التكفل بالرزق والزهد في الكفاف والمخرج بالبيان من كل شبهة والفلج بالصواب في كل حجة والعدل في الغضب والرضاء والتسليم لما يجري به القضاء والاقتصاد في الفقر والغنى والتواضع في القول الجد والهزل. اللهم إن لي ذنوبا فيما بيني وبينك وذنوبا فيما بيني وبين خلقك. اللهم ما كان لك منها فاغفره وما كان منها لخلقك فتحمله عني وأولني بفضلك إنك واسع المغفرة. اللهم نور بالعلم قلبي واستعمل بطاعتك بدني وخلص من الفتن سري واشغل بالاعتبار فكري وقني شر وساوس الشيطان وأجرني منه يا رحمن حتى لا يكون له علي سلطان. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما باركت على آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد.
Hazreti Resul-i Ekrem ve Nebi Muhterem sallallahu teala aleyhi ve sellem Efendimiz Hazretlerinin aziz pak münevver mutahhar ruh şeriflerine salavat-ı şerife getirenlerin ahir ve akıbetleri hayır ola. Âli ezvâc-ı tahirat evlad-ı Resul-i ashab-ı güzin efendilerimizin sayyem insan kiram ve Resul-i Kiram hazirat anva şeriflerine Pirimiz Bilal Habeşi radıyallahu anh Efendimizin مهماندار رسول کبریا ایوب سلطان خالد بن زید ابا ایوب الانصاری رضی الله عنه، شاه مرشدان شاه حاج محمد بهاتی نقشبندی البخاری، مولانا جل الدین روم، مولانا زیاد خالد البغدادی، صاحب الزمان قبلة الاسلام شیخ مولانا محمد ناظم عادل الحقانی، صاحب السيف شیخ عبدالکریم القبسی ربانی قدس الله اسرارهم حاضرات ارواح için، خادم الحرمین الشریفین یابو سلطان سلیم خان، ابو الفتح المغازی فاتح سلطان محمد خان و سردار حاکان سلطان عبدالحمید خان جنت مکان، فردوس عاشیان حاضراتın arvahına ve avnu inayetine, alel husus bu caminin bayinesi ve bugüne kadar işesinden gelmiş geçmiş imam muazzin kayyum cemaatinin ve kafe ehli iman arvahı için, Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketehu yusallûne alen nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne âmenû sallû aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya alel felah. Hayya alel felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecma'in. Nahmedullah Teala ve nestağfir ve eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike lah. Ve eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu, habibuhu ve resuluhu. Sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve ashabi tabi'i khulafai raşidin mahdi min ba'di. Ve zemmeti alel tahkik, hususan minhum ala lamiti hulafa rasul alel tahkik, Umar el-Mu'minin, Hazreti Ebu Bakr, Umar, Osman ve Ali, ve ala bakir sahabe tabi'in, ridvanatı aleyhim ecmain. Ya eyyuhal mu'minul hazirun, yutlakullahu ta'ala, ve etiyu innallahu mellezine tekavellezine hum muhsinun. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Salatu ve selamu ala eşrafil enbiya'i mursalin, seyyidina Mevlana Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who says in the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Muhammad, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Those who disbelieve and turn away from the way of Allah, Allah will waste their deeds. And those who believe and do good works and believe in that which is revealed unto Muhammad, and it is the truth from their Lord, He removes from them their misdeeds and improves their state. That is because those who disbelieve follow falsehood, and those who believe follow the truth from their Lord. Thus does Allah coin their similitudes for mankind. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. May all peace and blessings be upon the Sultan of creation, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is saying, whoever sends salawats upon me, then indeed these salawats reach me, and in return I send blessings upon that person. Further, 10 good deeds are written for the person. May peace and blessings be upon him and upon his noble family and upon his blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazreti Umar Farooq, Hazreti Osman al-Ghani, and Hazreti Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. May peace and blessings be upon the Khajagan of the most noble Naqshbandi way, the inheritors of Rasulullah alayhi wasalam. May peace and blessings be upon the Ottoman sultans who nurtured an empire of tariqat under the shade of Shariat. May Allah love those who love them. May Allah curse those who hate them. And may Allah hasten their return. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, all praises are due to our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who let us reach to the last Jummah of Rabiul Awal. May Allah grant us to be from those who send salawats on the Holy Prophet and who are blessed that he prays for us when we send salawats upon him. May Allah make our hearts to be in the spring of loving and serving that Rasul and the ones whom he loves. Inshallah. Amin. The beginning, the middle, and the continuation of the way of the Prophet is adab. Holy Prophet ﷺ is making it so big to say the whole reason I have been sent is to perfect good manners. And he ﷺ also said, by him in whose hand is my soul, none will enter paradise except the people of adab. Our Shaykh, Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Kibrisiya Rabbani, Qadasullah Sir, is opening up this mission of the Holy Prophet ﷺ to bring people to have good manners and to reach to the level of Hazrati Insan. Shaykh Effendi is saying, Holy Prophet ﷺ came to this world to complete the good manners. People should learn up to this time of maturity these manners, and right after that they should learn how to have the best of the manners, because he came to teach people the best of the manners. The better manners people have, the higher they go in spiritual stations and spiritual levels. If a man recites Quran 24 hours a day, if the man prays all night long going to sajda, but if the man does not have manners, he is not reaching anywhere. There is a big possibility that he is not even entering into paradise. But if a man doesn't know anything, he's just going to sajda, reading with sincerity, and he has good manners, every door may open to that man. That man may become a saint very easily. But if a man knows everything, recites the Quran every day, he does everything, and he doesn't have good manners, the doors of hell will open to that one. All the amals, all the works, all the actions can be burned through the bad manners. And the generous ones may overlook the mistakes and the weaknesses of the ones with good manners. Why is that? Because manners are a reflection of the heart. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, who Allah has described as Rauf and Rahim, who has pity, compassion, mercy, empathy, his good manners were a reflection of his pure and perfect heart. When a man is doing all the good works, but his heart, his manners are ugly, it is showing that his heart is ugly. When a man is making mistakes, but he keeps his adab, it is showing that his heart is clean, and a clean heart is showing that he has still some connection to the holy ones. Even an unbeliever with good adab can be beloved to Allah. Listen to this. Once, some war prisoners were brought to the presence of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and one of them was a young woman. She said, Ya Muhammad ﷺ, can you please find it in your heart to release me and not let me to become dishonored before the Arabs as a prisoner? Because I am the daughter of the chief of my tribe, and my father protected honor, and he gave relief to people in hardship, and he fed the hungry, and he distributed food, and he spread peace, and he never turned away the needy. This is my father, Hatim. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ said to her, O maiden, these are truly the attributes of a mu'min, a believer. If your father had been a Muslim, we would have made dua for mercy for him. Release her, because her father loved noble manners, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves noble manners. And the Prophet of Allah speaks the truth. What are the good manners of Islam? What are they? Holy Prophet ﷺ told Hazrat Muaz ibn Jabal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored Islam with the most bounteous manners, amongst which are good companionship, generous actions, speaking gently, giving charity, spreading peace, visiting the sick, whether a pious Muslim or a transgressor, joining in the janazah of a Muslim, being a good neighbor, whether your neighbor is Muslim or non-Muslim, respecting the gray-haired Muslim, accepting an invitation for food, making dua, forgiving, bringing people together after they fight, chivalry, generosity, being tolerant, being the first to give salams, controlling anger, and forgiving people. But the light of Islam is lost by taking everything lightly, by falsehood, by worldly singing and playing instruments, involvement in anything that doesn't concern you, lying, backbiting, miserliness and being mean, unfriendliness, making plots against people, trickery, bringing down a person's character, fighting, cutting off ties, bad manners, arrogance, pride and vanity, being disrespectful, playfulness, indecency, having bad feelings to others, envy, evil thoughts, zulm, aggression and oppression. The Prophet of Allah speaks the truth. If a man were to live according to this, and what has been listed here has nothing to do with our worship, has nothing to do with our amal. It has to do with our behavior. If a man were to live according to this, to do the good that the Prophet is ordering and to stay away from the evil that the man is ordering, then how could Allah, His Prophet and the saints not love that person? It is the mission of the Holy Prophet and the awliya Allah to teach people this way. Hazrat Anas radiallahu anh said, and Holy Prophet ﷺ never told us a beautiful advice except that he called us to it and ordered us to practice it. And he never told us about a bad thing except that he warned us and forbade us from it. It is enough for me to just describe him according to the ayat. Inna Allaha ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan. Truly Allah orders to justice and excellence. Why are the sheikhs giving guidance to murids? It is to make the murids to one day to reach to the station of adab. So many people look at this way and say, those people are so low, so basic. Look at their teachings. All they talk about is manners. Where is the ilm? Where is the knowledge? But the Sultan of the Saints, Shaykh Maulana, is saying, Yunus Emre Qadasullah said, in the majlis of the people of Irfan, I became a student. But knowledge came last. First was adab. First was adab. What do they seek in the assembly of wisdom? They don't seek knowledge. They seek adab. It is the adab that makes people achieve nearness to Allah and His Prophet. They come near with adab. The ones who have no adab are thrown out. The people of wisdom, the assembly of wisdom. People don't seek it. They don't ask for it. We should be taught adab. We should find the holy ones who can teach us adab. We tried to learn adab for all these years in the presence of our Sultan al-Awliya, Hazrat Sheikh Abdullah Dagestani. They taught us adab. They didn't sit to teach us grammar. What is asked in the assembly of wisdom, in the assembly of the wise ones, is manners, is adab. It is adab. Who has no adab is turned away from the door. And Sultan al-Awliya speak the truth. Why do the people of irfan, the people of high knowledge, of wisdom, why do they seek manners? Why do they seek adab? Because adab is the language between Allah and His servants. The one who does not speak that language, that one cannot reach to the divine presence. Sahib al-Saif is saying, everyone knows how to say, I know only Allah. How do you know Allah? How are you reaching to Allah? When you open your mouth, then everything shows. So good manners for man is to be in the station, always to think, knowing and understanding, coming to that acknowledging that my Lord is watching me. My Lord is watching me. If no one else, then Allah is watching. Good manners for a man is to run after his responsibilities, to catch his responsibilities, and to do it for the sake of Allah, not for show. No. If you are doing it for show, then you are going to get tired one day. You are not going to be able to do it anymore. So your manner is going to open up. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, the one who is closest to me in Akhirat is that one who has the best manners. The first priority in Dergah, it says everywhere, Adab Yahu, Adab Yahu, Adab Yahu, Adab Yahu. They were using that like an ayat everywhere. Adab, have good manners. Sa'id al-Saif speaks the truth. Good manners gives a man taqwa. Good manners gives a man Islam. Good manners gives a man iman. Good manners gives a man ihsan, to live as though in each moment Allah is seeing him. If a man lives like that in each moment, running to please his Lord, to please his Prophet, to please his guide, to run away from his shaitan, to run away from his desires, to run away from his nafs, fighting, that man can only have the best manners in each moment and is beloved by Allah. And when he lives like that, he's living, thinking, and being aware in each moment that he is in the presence. When he lives like that, yes, in any direction that he turns his face, BismillahirRahmanirRahim, then there is the face of Allah. A man can never learn these manners by himself. No man has ever learned these manners all by himself. It must be learned under the guidance of a teacher. And the best way to learn these manners is in the example of the people of Medina, the Sahaba Kiram. It is to learn these manners by living in a Jamaat under one guide. A man who submits himself sincerely inside that association, everything will become a mirror for him to learn and to become a better believer. The hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the hadith that he gave, giving advice and good manners, that can only be practiced when a person is dedicated to living with others who are trying to be believers. Prophet saying, ﷺ, I advise you to love and fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to speak the truth, and to honor your responsibilities, and to carry your promises, and to reject betraying. Guard your neighbors. Have mercy on the orphan. Be kind in your words. Be quick to give salams. Do good. Don't have big expectations. Stick to your faith. Spend in the love of the Quran and the love of Akhirat, and beware of the judgment. Be careful in how you carry yourself. I forbid you to insult a wise man, or contradict a true statement from a true man, or to obey a criminal person, or to disobey a just imam, or to steal his property. And I advise you to love and fear Allah at every stone or tree or turn, and to follow up every sin with tawbah, the secret one with a secret one, and the public one with a public one. Hujjatul Islam, Imam Ghazali says. And in this way did the Holy Prophet sharpen the manners of the servants of Allah, and called them to those noble manners and the best character. For the sheikhs, for the murids, our sheikh is Sahib al-Sayf, the owner of the sword. He is an inheritor and a grandson of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. He is also sharpening our good manners to make us to be useful servants of Allah. The work of Sahib al-Sayf is not small, it's big. And that work can only be done by those who have reached to some adab, or those ones with high ambition to have those adabs, and they're fighting against themselves. While the way is open, and while the breath of life is given to us, we should run to have those good manners. And in this last Jummah, we should renew our intentions to follow our Shaykh, who has made this Jamaat for us to become Ahli Adab, inshallah. Shaykh Effendi is saying, 21 years ago, inshallah, this will give us some reasons that we understand why we are here. Most of you, every one of you, you know why I'm here for. You know. Because you are with me for a long time, you know why I'm here. I'm here to worship together as a Jamaat. I'm not here to praise myself or for you to praise me. No, I'm here to worship. You are here to worship. That's why you are here too. Those who are here for the wrong talks, then we are asking forgiveness for their behalf too. That the veil removed away from their hearts, and they will look with the reality. They will look with sincerity, and they will understand what we are doing. And anyone who has doubts about my sincerity, this is what I'm going to say. Any person who has doubts about my sincerity, any person who has doubts about my sincerity, they have no business being with me. That's what I'm practicing in my life. Whatever I'm saying, that's what I'm believing. And that's what I'm practicing. It doesn't matter who's going to attack me. Low or high, I know why I'm in this world. I am a servant. I'm going to do, inshallah, whatever I've been doing for the last 43 years, trying to be the servant of Allah. Either here or some other place, it doesn't matter. Allah bless the nation of Muhammad ﷺ. One blessing, that's saying any place that you go, any place that you get together, that becomes a masjid of Allah. And Allah bless the nation of Muhammad ﷺ. When you are alone, in the ayat, Allah is saying, anywhere you turn your face, you will find Allah. Allah saying to us, anywhere you turn your face in this world, you will find Allah there. So if you didn't find the Qibla, say Allahu Akbar, Allah is there. And Sahibul Saif speaks the truth. We close this Jummah. And inshallah, this blessed month of Rabiul Awal, asking Allah to increase our life so that we'll meet and greet the next Rabiul Awal. And we're asking with the dua of our Grand Shaykh, BismillahirRahmanirRahim, our adab should increase. May we have more adab. Look after adab, ask for adab. Don't be drunk. Don't be a drunkard of dunya. Don't be a donkey for this world. Be a servant for your Lord. Oh, Ya Rabbana, Tawbah, Ya Rabbana. We repent. The worlds, the 18,000 alams have been created for the honor of Allah's beloved. He says 18,000 alams in order to fit our mind's capacity. There are alams beyond 18,000. Ya Rabbul Alameen, O Janabul Haq, you are Subhan Ya Rabbi, you are Sultan Ya Rabbi. You accepted us, Ya Rabbana, accept us for the honor of Habibul Akram. Amen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah al-azim. Al-azim. La ilaha illa man hayy al-qayyum wa atubu ilayh. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamd. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka wa atubu ilayk. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. Subhan kudusun rabbana rabbana. Subhan kudusun rabbana. Inna dina Allah niswa. Qamsa. Allahumma. People break it. As Allah is saying, everyone is born a Muslim. Your
سيدنا محمد النبي وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وذريته وأهل بيته كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم داحي المدحوات وبارئ المسموكات وجبار القلوب على فطرتها شقيها وسعيدها، اجعل شرائف صلواتك ونوامي بركاتك ورأفة تحننك على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق والمعلن الحق بالحق والدامغ لجيشات الأباطيل، كما حمل فاضطلع بأمرك بطاعتك مستنفذا في مرضاتك واعيا لوحيك حافظا لعهدك ماضيا على نفاذ أمرك حتى أورى قبسا لقابس آلاء الله تصل بأهله أسبابه به هديت القلوب بعد خوضات الفتن والإثم وأبهج موضحات الأعلام ونائرات الأحكام ومنيرات الإسلام، فهو أمينك المأمون وخازن علمك المخزون وشهيدك يوم الدين وبعيثك نعمة ورسولك بالحق رحمة. اللهم افسح له في عدنك واجزه مضاعفات الخير من فضلك مهنآت له غير مكدرات من فوز ثوابك المحلول وجزيل عطائك المعلول. اللهم أعل على بناء الناس بناءه وأكرم مثواه لديك ونزله وأتمم له نوره واجزه من ابتعاثك له مقبول الشهادة ومرضي المقالة ذا منطق عدل وخطة فصل وبرهان عظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. لبيك اللهم ربي وسعديك صلوات الله البر الرحيم والملائكة المقربين والنبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وما سبح لك من شيء يا رب العالمين على سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين وإمام المتقين ورسول رب العالمين الشاهد البشير الداعي إليك بإذنك السراج المنير عليه السلام. اللهم اجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك على سيد المرسلين وإمام المتقين وخاتم النبيين سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك إمام الخير وقائد الخير ورسول الرحمة. اللهم ابعثه مقاما محمودا يغبطه فيه الأولون والآخرون. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأولاده وأزواجه وذريته وأهل بيته وأصهاره وأنصاره وأشياعه ومحبه وأمته وعلينا معهم أجمعين يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عدد من صلى عليه وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من لم يصل عليه وصل على سيدنا محمد كما أمرتنا بالصلاة عليه وصل عليه كما يحب أن يصلى عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما أمرتنا أن نصلي عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما هو أهله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحب وترضاه له. اللهم يا رب سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد صل على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد وأعط سيدنا محمدا الدرجة والوسيلة في الجنة. اللهم يا رب سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد اجز سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هو أهله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الصلاة شيء. وارحم سيدنا محمدا وآل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الرحمة شيء. وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من البركة شيء. وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من السلام شيء. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وصل على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين. وصل على سيدنا محمد في النبيين وصل على سيدنا محمد في المرسلين. وصل على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. اللهم أعط سيدنا محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والشرف والدرجة الكبيرة. اللهم إني آمنت بسيدنا محمد ولم أره فلا تحرمني في الجنان رؤيته وارزقني صحبته. وتوفني على ملته واسقني من حوضه مشربا رويا سائغا هنيئا لا نظمأ بعده أبدا إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم أبلغ روح سيدنا محمد مني تحية وسلاما. اللهم وكما آمنت بسيدنا محمد ولم أره فلا تحرمني في الجنان رؤيته. اللهم تقبل شفاعة سيدنا محمد الكبرى وارفع درجته العليا وآته سؤله في الآخرة والأولى كما آتيت سيدنا إبراهيم وسيدنا موسى. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم. وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك وسيدنا إبراهيم خليلك وصفيك وسيدنا موسى كليمك ونجيك وسيدنا عيسى روحك وكلمتك وعلى جميع ملائكتك ورسلك وأنبيائك وخيرتك من خلقك وأصفيائك وخاصتك وأوليائك من أهل أرضك وسمائك وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد عدد خلقه ورضاء نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته وكما هو أهله وكلما ذكره الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون وعلى أهل بيته وعترته الطاهرين وسلم تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواجه وذريته وعلى جميع النبيين والمرسلين والملائكة والمقربين وجميع عباد الله الصالحين عدد ما أمطرت السماء منذ بنيتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما أنبتت الأرض منذ دحوتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد النجوم في السماء فإنك أحصيتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما تنفست الأرواح منذ خلقتها. وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد ما خلقت وما تخلق وما أحاط به علمك وأضعاف ذلك. اللهم صل عليهم عدد خلقك ورضاء نفسك وزنة عرشك ومداد كلماتك ومبلغ علمك وآياتك. اللهم صل عليهم صلاة تفوق وتفضل صلاة المصلين عليهم من الخلق أجمعين كفضلك على جميع خلقك. اللهم صل عليهم صلاة دائمة مستمرة الدوام على مر الليالي والأيام متصلة الدوام لا انقضاء لها ولا انصرام على مر الليالي والأيام عدد كل وابل وطل. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد نبيك وسيدنا إبراهيم خليلك وعلى جميع أنبيائك وأصفيائك من أهل أرضك وسمائك عدد خلقك ورضاء نفسك وزنة عرشك ومداد كلماتك ومنتهى علمك وزنة جميع مخلوقاتك صلاة مكررة أبدا عدد ما أحصى علمك وملء ما أحصى علمك وأضعاف ما أحصى علمك صلاة تزيد وتفوق وتفضل صلاة المصلين عليهم من الخلق أجمعين كفضلك على جميع خلقك. اللهم اجعلني ممن لزم ملة نبيك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعظم حرمته وأعز كلمته وحفظ عهده وذمته ونصر حزبه ودعوته وكثر تابعيه وفرقته ووافى زمرته ولم يخالف سبيله وسنته. اللهم إني أسألك الاستمساك بسنته وأعوذ بك من الانحراف عما جاء به. اللهم إني أسألك من خير ما سألك منه سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم وأعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه سيدنا محمد نبيك ورسولك صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم اعصمني من شر الفتن وعافني من جميع المحن وأصلح مني ما ظهر وما بطن ونق قلبي من الحقد والحسد ولا تجعل علي تباعة لأحد. اللهم إني أسألك الأخذ بأحسن ما تعلم والترك لسيء ما تعلم. وأسألك التكفل بالرزق والزهد في الكفاف والمخرج بالبيان من كل شبهة والفلج بالصواب في كل حجة والعدل في الغضب والرضاء والتسليم لما يجري به القضاء والاقتصاد في
Prophets, they came to remind us. You should have any past. And I had to give sohbet. Although throughout the years he says talk a little bit. I talk. I don't give sohbet, I talked. But after Shaykh when he passed, and I know certain things I have to do, and I'm thinking, what can I say that everyone has not heard? Everyone has heard before from the source. Then what can I say on top of that? Nothing. So I was pretty sad for a while. Then I remember Shaykh when he says our job is just to remind. Not my words, just to repeat. Repeat and remind. Reminding means everything is inside of you already. Understand the Quran is already there in the heart. It's just reminding. So, safety will come to that person who says, this is not mine, this is not my words. I'm not saying something new. I'm not claiming this is mine. But what I may tell you something new is just what my own experience to this is. I can tell you. And if anything that comes from the heart, it will reach to the heart. Something that comes from the mind, it may not reach to the mind, because majority of the people, they are no mind people. They're using this only for dunya, not for akhirat. They use this for dunyawi, let's say, knowledge. Or even if it's religion, is knowledge of religion that is not from here, it's from here. As what is that? People also get very upset with me, as they did with Shaykh. They say, so you guys are not encouraging people to learn about Islam. You're stopping them from reading books, going to madrasa and this and that. You don't understand. We're not saying that. We're saying there's a knowledge that is higher than that, and that is more important. And in these days, everyone is trying to be an alim. There is no shortage of knowledge. You open up that phone, you can do anything that you want and learn anything that you want, even religious, so-called spiritual knowledge, no? But there's another kind of knowledge of adab that you need to have a guide. You cannot do that like that, through the phone. And for that, not only you need a guide, but you need proper place to do it. Proper place. You need a dergah. Longest time, Shaykh when he had a dergah on 42nd Street, 39th Street, next to 42nd Street, once a week. You spend hours there, coming in, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., waiting for all the murids to come in and out, in and out. He will stay whole night long, and he'll leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, once a week. Then he opened up this dergah here, where now it's not only once a week, now every day, for those who want that kind of knowledge. With that kind of knowledge, you need a special place. Any kind of knowledge that you want to learn, it needs a special place. You want to be a lawyer, you cannot be a lawyer learning law in a slaughterhouse. You cannot learn how to be a butcher in a medical school. You need a special place. You need special people, special time. Then you're going to learn something. People are so particular, dunya, they understand. I must wear the uniform, I must pay the money, I must have these teachers, But when it comes to spirituality, they say, no, no, no. Anything, anywhere, anyone. Teacher, no teacher. Once a week, no once a week. Doesn't matter. Those who have higher aspirations, they will know. I cannot have this once a week, I must have it more. Those who have high aspirations, that they say, because I cannot do more than once a week, now when I'm there, I must try to absorb as much as I can. That's okay too. That is okay. So, to show something, to remind you, to remind myself, this is not only for you, it's for all of us, it's for me first, we say. So I was a little bit shy. Then I said, I have to remind and I have to speak. Now we're going to show a little bit different, because this is my own experience. And it is important, because the best kind of knowledge is the knowledge that you experience. Not just something that you read. You cannot. So alhamdulillah. Now that time when you're experiencing that knowledge here, then they may open up a situation where they say, okay, now you have to go here to open up this kind of knowledge. Then you have to travel with them to do this and to do this. Traveling, it is a sunnat of prophets. Not traveling for vacation, not traveling for your nafs, not traveling where you're running away from the face of Allah. And those ones that they are traveling and living properly here, putting in their heart, trying to fight, where you can be, where Allah is not going to be, where you can go, where? And at that time, anywhere you go, you are looking for that, and you are understanding that. It's one of the reasons why Hazrat Shams, what did he do? Hazrat Maulana, looking for Allah, to have the passion for Allah, to look for Allah. Where? He took him out from the madrasas. Where did he bring him to? To places that at that time especially, they say, this is the last place you're going to learn. All those so wrong places, let's say. But today's people, they're going to use that as an excuse. Today's spiritually high people, they use that as an excuse. You see, Shamsi Tabriz brought Maulana to this wrong place, to this wrong place, to this one, to explain, to understand what is it. Oh, they can do that. So I can do that too. I'm a Sufi. So I can go to clubs, I can go to, where else they go to? Oh, mashallah, none of you know. You know, you find out, all those wrong places. They say it's okay because they did that, I'm doing that too. Some people, they go to this, Shaykh and he used to say, discotheque. Right? Discotheque. He's saying, some people I know, because they think they're so Sufi, they go to these places and they start whirling, they start looking for Allah there. It's no good too. You're doing it for your ego now. Or they go and they have, how you say? Jam? Huh? Grapes? Grave. Rave. They go rave, they go to their grave. Big trouble. Yeah, go to rave, trying to find. What happened? Because you're bored in the masjid? There's a problem now. You're bored. Are you going there to pull people? No, you're not. You're going there to enjoy yourself. So we should not fool ourselves with these kinds of things. Huh? To learning the manners, one thing we have to say, it is not just to be so sweet with your words, to be so soft, to always be humble looking. One thing that the Hudbah is not mentioning, manners also means protocol. The manner, the way in which you have to behave. In front of the king, the protocol is like this, the manner is like this, yes? In front of your father, it's like this. In front of the child, it is like this. In front of a betrayer, it is like this. In front of an enemy, it is like this. Yes? You understand? That is the manners. In front of your friends, it's like this. In front of believer is like this, in front of an unbeliever is like this. But to know each, you cannot now treat an unbeliever as you would treat Allah. You cannot. You cannot even treat a man the same way you treat a woman. You cannot. As the Prophet says, you have to treat them each according to their own level, their own maqam. To find their maqam, and I don't mean maqam as in spiritually, but to find where their heart is, what they are. The prophets, look what they did. They can sit with the poor and with the rich, with the children and with the elderly. He makes them feel comfortable. He's speaking to them and he touches their hearts. How a person is able to do that? To move to different let's say sections, different people, different levels. How is a person able to do that? How? How is the Prophet ﷺ able to do that? Once, there was a Sahabi. He was looking for his son. He couldn't find his son. He started looking and he saw his son playing with a couple of kids from the neighborhood. And the Prophet ﷺ was watching them. So the Sahabi went to the Prophet ﷺ saying, it is time, can I take my son? And he says, let him play a little bit longer. So he waited. Then after that he said, can I have permission to take him now? Let him play a little bit longer. Third time he asked, Prophet says, yes, get your son, but don't call him by saying, oh my son, come. Call by his name, but don't say, oh my son, come. And Sahabi Kiram, the Sahabi was wondering. He's saying to the Prophet ﷺ, saying, may I ask what is the reason? Because especially at that time, they always talk to their children, oh, they use Ibn, if your name is Muaz, they say, oh, Ibn Muaz, the son of Muaz, come. You're not going to use the kid's name. Oh, my son, you're going to say, come. So Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, because he's playing with orphans, and if you say, oh, my son, come, he's going to feel very sad, the rest of the children, because they don't have a father. So just call him by his name. How delicate is that? Huh? How delicate is that? And the Holy Prophet ﷺ knowing that, because he understood. Why? Because he's a yatim as well, no? He's an orphan. A few things will make you to be able to be good with people on every level. Few things. One of those things is when you experience what they experienced. They call empathy, not sympathy, empathy. They are like that, you have experienced what they're experiencing, you understand. So you go from that language, that level. And people in the spiritual way, they will make you to experience more so that you'll be able to understand. Just as the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he experienced so much. For his entire ummah to experience. Which is why thousands of years later he can still speak to the hearts. That's one. And if you have not experienced in the spiritual way, you have not experienced that, they will make you to experience. Otherwise your training is not complete. If you never experience that kind of a sadness, they'll make you to experience. If not all, a little bit, so that you know. Then that time, your experience, your knowledge will be greater. It hurts, but now you'll be able to reach to people who are hurt, and you're going to understand them, and you'll be able to speak according to their level and that knowledge. That's one. So, having that experience and understanding that will make you to be able to move and to talk to people. Sometimes it's very difficult because most of the experience that we're talking about, they are not easy experiences, they're difficult experiences. Whether those experiences you went through, Allah is putting you for that. Whether you choose yourself or you don't, it's there. Inshallah, we will try. We must try. We must try to have the manners, we must try to have the intelligence to move according to the levels and according to the protocol, not to mix up things. I'm saying this because a lot of people are stuck. They say manners, well, manners means you have to be nice all the time. No, that's not what manners means. Manners means you have to act according to the situation, according to the level, and according to the person. So they get confused sometimes if they see Shaykh Effendi being very harsh. They say, you must be humble, you must be nice. No. When you are dealing with people according to that level, you have to go according to that level. When you're speaking to children, you talk about toys. When you're speaking to animals, they only will listen to a very harsh voice. You're listening to them and you say, this is a person who has no manners. No. When you tell a dog to sit, you have to give it in a very clear way. It doesn't mean that you are mean or you are bad. The manners is important. So, we'll try slowly, inshallah. May Allah forgive me and bless you. We must think, we must run after this kind of knowledge. Because without the proper situation, you are not going to be able to practice your faith. You learn people coming to the masjid, jami, they are listening to all of this, they go out, the whole world and everything is telling them the complete opposite. How are you going to practice this? Where are you going to practice it? So you always become schizophrenic. When you're with them, you have to at least, as if you have to put aside your Islam. That's not healthy. So run to those places where you can practice. Inshallah, Allah accept our good intentions. Our actions may be very weak. We are weak creatures. We are not claiming anything. But may Allah accept our strong intentions for His sake, for the Holy Prophet's sake, inshallah. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Any question anyone has? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Nice to see you. I was confused. I thought you are his father. I was saying, but you look like Adam's father, not Ahmad, Adam's father. But I said last time I met him, he was looking like, mashallah, you know. But you are. Yeah. Then I saw him. Because yesterday I was a little girl here, and he looks like Aslan here, this little girl. So I'm talking to her a little bit. Say, well, you can't come with my Baba. I said, okay. But nobody told me that she was coming. He didn't say he was coming. She just appeared like that. Later I said to him, oh, you came here alone? Yeah, I came here alone. You didn't come with anyone? No, I didn't come with anyone. And I said, okay, anyone missing a girl? Just let me know. Bismillah. Oh, yeah, Ahmad. You brought your brother, huh? How are you doing? Okay. But you are here. He is here. That's the important thing. What is the difficulty? Difficulties are forgettable. One friend of Allah is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will speak to his angels to say, bring me one person who has never experienced any pain at all in this world. Bring me that one. There are no pain, no toothache, nothing. And Allah says, every single time I give him pleasure. Sit down quickly. Don't move. Every time I give him every pleasure, not a single second in his life he experienced any pain. And told the angel, take him and just dip him into Jahannam, one split second, for him to come out. The angel took him, dipped him in the fires of hell, one split second, bring him out. And Allah is saying now, addressing to his servant, oh my servant, what are you thinking now about your life and about your akhirat? He says, what life? He said, all I experience is just pain. Split second. Allah saying to the angel, bring me one servant that I gave him nothing but pain. No pleasure, nothing but pain. Bring him to me. Put him into Jannat for one split second and bring him out. I will speak to him. The angel did that, split second, put him out. And this servant who experienced pain throughout all his life, when Allah asked, what did you think about your life? What are you saying now? Did you have pain? He says, what pain, Ya Rabbi? I experienced no pain at all, just pleasure. So now you are here. Everything else doesn't exist. Look to that, inshallah. Pain or pleasure, do it for Allah's sake. Those people who have trouble dying is when they don't want to die. They don't want to die. They don't want to give up from this life. But if you are understanding this life through the eyes of our Prophet ﷺ, and you say it's about time, because he did not choose to live in this life forever. Allah gave him the choice. He says, you can live here forever, or you can meet your beloved. He says, I want to meet my beloved. This world it's not a paradise. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, anything else? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yes, sir. There are a lot of barricades. That's why it's important. It's difficult. So many people, they say, oh, I understand theoretically, but just to practice is so difficult. Yes? No Muslim hearing the laws of Allah, hearing what is halal and haram, no Muslim is going to say, no, I disagree with that. I know it is good. Allah saying this is bad, I know it is bad. They know theoretically, but when it comes to doing it, they say, but something is pulling me to do the bad thing instead of the good thing. Why is it so difficult? There are many veils. There are many barricades in front of us. The thickest one is our ego, that disobedient creature that Allah has put in us, that we have to overcome. We have to wrestle, we have to step on it. And the prophets came to teach us, to give us the tools how to deal with this. When you do that, things will start opening up. So, you need to understand what is your nafs. How you make your nafs to be powerful. Some wise person, I think it's Native American, they're saying, let's say, inside of you, it's their language is different, the images they use are different. They say, inside of you are two wolves, one good wolf, one bad wolf. They're saying, whichever wolf you feed is the one who's going to be strong. If you feed the good, it's going to be strong. The good is going to be stronger than the bad. If you feed the bad, it's going to be stronger than the good. This is common sense, but this is high spirituality. Now, how do you feed the good? How do you starve the bad? Fasting is when we starve our body. But fasting is not just starving our body, it's starving our nafs, you know? And it's to make a man to understand now. As Hujatul Islam and other saints, they also say, yes, it's easy to fast, not eating and not drinking, but that is the first level, that's fasting of animals. How do you fast? Meaning not take something that is forbidden and only take things that are good. How do you fast from your eyes? Do you need Ramadan to be fasting from your eyes? No, you should be doing that every day. How fasting from your ears? Fasting from your heart? No. To watch your heart. Not to let bad things to enter. Now, the problem is most people don't even know what is bad and good. You don't know. Most don't even know that they have problems. Just as you don't know you have problems, you go to a doctor says you have problems. So you believe him. I thought I was okay. The doctor says, no, you're not. Your sugar is too high. These are the signs. He says, I should have seen them. I should have known them. I agree with you because you're a doctor. But when you deal with Tabibul Qulub, doctors of the heart, because you cannot really see it, although other people can see it, but you cannot see it, especially if you're not used to looking at yourself, judging yourself, understanding yourself, you'll not be able to see it. So many times you see people who are so angry, they cannot control it. You tell them, why are you so angry? I'm not angry, they're saying. Just like a person who is drunk. When they're drunk, you say you're drunk. They say, I'm not drunk. I'm okay. Now, it is forbidden for us to drink because you lose your what? Your mind. Yes? You can lose your faith. Those shaitans, they made that woman tricked those two angels that Allah sent, Harut and Marut, into this world through making them drunk. When she made them to become drunk, then she took their secrets. Still spinning somewhere, lost. But Shaykh Effendi, the awliyas are saying, the physical drinking, when you're drunk, it's guaranteed. You wake up hours later, always regretting that you drink. And you come out from the drunken station, and you say, what did I do? Oh, this hurts. Yes? That's from the drink. But the person who is drunk from arrogance, it's very difficult to come out from that drunken station. And it's very dangerous. A person who is drunk from anger, a person who is drunk from jealousy, very difficult. And that kind of work, prophets were sent. Prophets, the prophets, not just books or this, prophets were sent. Abu Lahab, Abu Jahil, they have intelligence. But they were drunk. And the prophets came to wake them up, and they still don't want to wake up. Only the fire is going to wake them up. So what stops a man now? I'm saying we know all these things already, stopping them. Because we are drunk. Or we know one split second, next second, something else is going to pull us away from that understanding to something else. We are getting distracted. There's no commitment. There's no continuous education. All that kind of stuff. So what do? It depends what you want. If you want more of that kind of a knowledge, then be around. Be in school. Be in school. Simple, no? You want to be a talib, you got to be in school. You want to learn, you have to be in school. And some schools, they say you don't even have a social life. You just have to study and study and study, yes? You go to medical school, yeah, years now. Prophet ﷺ, when he gave the spiritual teachings of these to his Sahabe Kiram, they had to cut off all relations from all their friends and their families who were opposed to those kinds of teaching, and they had to be trained for 23 years very severely. But where did that reach them? Where did that get them to? It got them to be called Sahabi Kiram, companions of the Prophet, to the highest level. No saint can claim to be as high as one Sahabi to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. But when you're around people who are a little bit more awake, then they will always keep you awake. But if you're around people who are drunk, you'll always be drunk. You're around people who are sleeping, although you're not sleepy, you're going to be sleepy. It's simple, but it's difficult because it requires you now to put a lot of effort into this. People are used to doing things without any effort, especially in these times. All effortless, easy way out. Studying is hard, but studying yourself is harder. To be told by the teacher, you did this and you did this, you study and you go for a test and you fail, is hard. You study so much and you say, oh, I need to study more, because you fail. For a teacher, for a shaykh, to test you, to make you to go certain things, and you are failing it, and he's saying you are that's much harder. One is very personal. It involves you. The other one is not. It's just this. You understand? Oh, if only I answered this question better. If only I studied more. There's always some sort of an excuse. But what excuse can you give to yourself, to the one who is teaching you in this way? You cannot give any excuse. What excuse can we give to Allah? Huh? What excuse? But if we're so used to giving excuse to other people, that time in Judgment Day we will burn. Because everything is open, we're still giving excuse. Because of this, because of this, because of this. No, just say because we are disobedient. Halas, astaghfirullah. If we are used to doing that, humbleness comes with that. And not being busy with Malayani comes with that. You don't be bothered with other people. You're not too concerned about what they're doing. You're not. You're simple. You get to be more happy because you're simpler. And there is taste in your faith. So, this is what our Shaykh is trying to teach us. Now, you want to learn, not only be around the teacher, you have to be in a school, you have to be in classroom, you have to spend enough time in the classroom, you have to do your homework. And these things are also necessary in the spiritual way. Like I said, but those ones who cannot be physically here, but their heart is so strong, that time, every opportunity they have to absorb as much as they can, they will. In fact, those ones who are not here, they want to be here, they cannot be here, they're listening to sohbats once or twice a week, they absorb more than the people who are here every day. Of course. So it all depends on what your thirst. It all depends on your passion. So, it's okay. The Shaykh is not trying to tell us you have to be perfect. It's not that. You're not saying you must not do anything. You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything wrong. You have to be. They're not. They're teaching us, look. Have a mirror. Look at yourself. These are the ways that can change. And this is how Allah wants you to look. And this is how you look. Now try to change. Now we try. Inshallah. Ya Allah accept it. Assalamu alaikum. Fatiha. All right, this much is enough. Women can go.
وصل على سيدنا محمد عدد من لم يصل عليه وصل على سيدنا محمد كما أمرتنا بالصلاة عليه وصل عليه كما يحب أن يصلى عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما أمرتنا أن نصلي عليه. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما هو أهله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحب وترضاه له. اللهم يا رب سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد صل على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد وأعط سيدنا محمدا الدرجة والوسيلة في الجنة. اللهم يا رب سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد اجز سيدنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم ما هو أهله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الصلاة شيء. وارحم سيدنا محمدا وآل سيدنا محمد حتى لا يبقى من الرحمة شيء. وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا